The SE7000 is Spider Farmer's largest bar-style grow light, and they just released an updated version. You know how much I loved the SE5000 that we unboxed and tested. Let's see what its big brother has to offer. Spider Farmer recently let us know that they had updated this light and would be sending us one to check out, but I didn't think that it was going to get here as quickly as it did. UPS surprised me with a delivery a couple of days later, and it arrived in a very solid box, as all of their lights have in the past. Just like the SE5000, the light's components are layered in the box with foam protecting each piece, which was great to see. On top, there is a booklet that will show you how to assemble the light, followed by 2 layers with 4 light bars each for a total of 8. The bottom layer has the bag of assorted hardware, the power cable, the LED driver, and the 2 connector end bars. When it is fully assembled, this light is just over 42 inches in both directions, so you will need a decent amount of space to assemble it. I am going to be doing it on the floor of my studio space. The light bars will go on the bottom with the 2 connector bars along the top. Make sure to place the end of the light bars with the electrical connection at the end bar that has the matching connectors so that you can power them all. Make sure to line up the bracket holes on the light bars with the orange triangle markings that are on the connector bars, and also make sure that the captive nuts inside of the channels are lined up so that you can attach the light bars to the connector bars with the included black-handled wing screws. I assembled them all pretty loosely as I wanted to be able to adjust them all before tightening them down later. Once that was done, I placed the whole light back up onto my table and then grabbed the eye bolts out of the hardware bag. These will be our hanging points for the light. These get screwed into the captive nuts that should be near the orange circles that are marked on the connector bars, though the nuts can move around. If they have moved, just slide them back into place. Grab one of the eye bolts and one of the included washers and get all 4 of them tightened into place. Once I had everything attached, I went ahead and went back around and tightened all of the wing screws that held the light bars onto the connector bars, making sure to line them up with the orange markings so that they would be properly spaced. All that is left to do at that point is to push the electrical connectors together. There are notches to make sure that they can be securely fastened together. At this point, you can mount the driver to the light or leave it separate and run it remotely, as there is a 7-foot cable that connects them together. If you do want to mount it to the light though, there are a couple more pieces that you need to grab out of the hardware bag. There should be 4 brackets in there, and they are going to screw on to the driver where the 4 thumb screws are already on the driver itself. Remove the thumb screw, place the bracket onto the driver like this with the peg facing down, and then put the thumb screw back into place. Do this for all 4 of the brackets and then set the whole assembly on top of the light. You want to leave the brackets a little loose as they will need to be adjusted to fit the light bars exactly, but once it is on there, nice and snug, go ahead and tighten those down. Finally, grab the 4 plastic thumb screws out of the hardware bag and screw them into the sides of the bracket, securing the whole package to the light bars. It should now be on there, nice and tight. Now that we have it assembled, let's take a look at the dimmer function. The light is quite bright at full power, where it draws 746 watts from the wall. It can be dimmed down to the point that it is only drawing 71 watts from the wall, which is a really incredible range. As I mentioned before, its outside dimensions are 42.5 inches by 42.5 inches, so you could fit it inside of a 4-foot by 4-foot grow tent, though Spider Farmer lists it as covering a 5-foot by 5-foot grow space for home growers. For the light level tests, we are taking PAR readings in a 5-foot by 5-foot square with measurements taken every 6 inches. These measurements are not taken inside of a tent, as we want to be able to compare multiple different lights against each other in upcoming videos and do not want to have to worry about tent sizing for all of the measurements. Remember that a properly sized grow tent can increase your light levels by 10 to 30%, especially around the edges of the space. With that said, we will soon be doing additional testing with each of these lights in the various size tents that they will fit in, so keep an eye out for that if it is something you are interested in. At a 12-inch height, the PAR reading in the center is 1,148, with fairly even light levels in the central 2-foot square. This light will pull 746 watts from the wall at full power, and it goes down from there as you dim the dial. At 80, it pulled 654 watts from the wall. At 60, it was pulling 440 watts. At 40, it went down to 326 watts. At 20, it was pulling 163 watts. And finally, at minimum, it pulled 71 watts from the wall. Moving up to an 18-inch height, and the center reading is now at 957 par. And the incredible thing to look at with this light is how even the light levels are in the center and how much more spread out the light is over the space. We also took par readings with the light dimmed and averaged what the results were, which gives you the par X readings on the left. All of the readings shown in the screen are at full power, and to get the light levels at different dim settings, just multiply the par value shown by that number. For an example, the center reading at 18 inches is 957 par, but if we have the light set to 60, we would multiply it by 0.67 and get a result of 641, which will get you pretty close with all of the values shown. At a 24-inch height, the center level is down to 772, again with an amazing spread from there out. We are still using the Apogee SQ420 Smart Quantum sensor to take all of these measurements, and it is working out really well. It is just the sensor itself and plugs into a PC to get the readings, so is a bit more affordable than their standalone units. We will leave an Amazon affiliate link to it down below if that is something you are interested in checking out. Moving up to 30 inches, and the center reading is at 632, which is still fantastic. The ability to place the driver outside of the tent is going to be amazing with this light for keeping the temps inside of the tent down to a manageable level, but it is also nice to have the choice to mount it inside of the tent if you grow in your garage in the winter like we do, and it will help to keep the plants nice and warm. Getting up to 36 inches, and the center light level is at 537 par with a gradual drop-off out to the edges. I don't think that most folks will be hanging their light this high, as you can get a similar par reading by just dimming the light, but it is an option for those looking to get maximum light spread to cover a larger area. Finally, with the light hung at 48 inches, the center light levels are at 350 par, with over 150 par at the far corners. It is incredible to see the amount of light being produced by this fixture, as it is the largest one that we have ever been able to take a look at. I have mentioned it before, but I really do love these bar-style grow lights. Much like its little brother, the SE5000, I love this light. If you are looking for an amazing light to grow in a 4x4, 5x5, or 6x6 grow tent, then you should definitely be looking at this light. I love how spread out the light levels are across a larger area, with less of a focus spot in the center. The move towards remote drivers is something I am really happy to see as well, as it can be a battle to keep a tent cool when you have a warm spring like we had here this year. If you want to check out this grow gear for yourself, we will leave a link to it on the Spider Farmer website in the description down below, and make sure to use code GEEKS at checkout to get a discount on your order. For those that prefer ordering from Amazon, we will leave an Amazon Associates link to it in the description down below as well. Using the Amazon affiliate links helps out the channel as we receive a small portion of the sale for sending you their way.